Liam was a quiet boy, small in size but big in dreams. He lived in a small town where life was simple, but opportunities were rare. Every day, he watched the wealthy townspeople pass by in their shiny cars, while his family struggled to make ends meet. Despite this, Liam never gave up hope. He believed that with courage and determination, anyone could do something great. One sunny morning, Liam walked to the town's old community center. The place had once been full of laughter, children's games, and happy memories. Now, it was silent, with an old broken machine that everyone had given up on. This machine was supposed to pump clean water for the whole town, but it had stopped working years ago. Liam had an idea. He wanted to fix the machine, but he knew he couldn't do it alone. He decided to ask Mr. Carter, the richest man in town, for help. Mr. Carter was famous for his wealth and power, but also for his pride. He loved to laugh at anyone who tried to challenge him. When Liam arrived at Mr. Carter's mansion, he saw the millionaire in his fancy office, sipping coffee and reading a newspaper. Liam took a deep breath and spoke. "Mr. Carter, please. The town needs the machine fixed. I want to try. Will you help me?" Mr. Carter looked at Liam, a mocking smile spreading across his face. "Me? Help you? Ha! I can fix this in minutes. You? Impossible." His laughter filled the room, loud and cold. Liam didn't smile back. Instead, he nodded quietly. "I will find a way," he said softly. Inside, his heart was racing. He knew this was not just a machine, it was a chance to prove that courage mattered more than wealth. Leaving the mansion, Liam felt both nervous and excited. He went back to the community center, where his friends Noah and Emma were waiting. "Mr. Carter laughed at me," Liam said, trying to hide the fear in his voice. "But I won't give up. We can do this." Noah, always practical, shrugged. "We can try. But it looks impossible." Emma, the most cheerful of the group, smiled. "Nothing is impossible when we work together. Let's start." The three friends examined the broken machine. It was old, rusted, and dusty. Parts were missing, and wires were tangled like a wild maze. Liam's heart sank for a moment. Could they really fix it? The machine seemed so powerful, yet so fragile. It felt like standing in front of a giant, knowing a single wrong step could ruin everything. They began their work slowly, carefully. Each small step they took brought tiny successes. A lever moved, a wheel spun. But then disaster struck. A loud clang echoed as one part fell to the ground, breaking further. The friends froze, hearts racing. Liam felt a wave of despair. He remembered the look on Mr. Carter's face and the sound of his cruel laughter. Was he foolish to even try? Emma placed a hand on his shoulder. "We can do this. Remember your father's words, never give up, even when it feels impossible." Liam took a deep breath and nodded. He thought about his father, who had taught him that courage was not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. The memory filled him with warmth and determination. Over the next few hours, Liam and his friends worked tirelessly. They cleaned, tightened, and tested the machine again and again. Each attempt brought them closer, and each small victory sparked hope. The town kids peeked through the windows, whispering among themselves. "Do you think they can really do it?" Suspense built as the sun began to set. Liam looked at the machine, now partially repaired. He could almost see it coming to life, almost hear the water flowing again. He knew the next step would be the hardest, but he also knew that giving up was not an option. As night fell, Liam, Noah, and Emma sat together, tired but determined. Liam whispered, "Tomorrow, we try the final test. No matter what happens, we will not give up." The friends nodded, sharing a silent promise. The town may have doubted them, and Mr. Carter may have laughed at them, but Liam's heart was ready for the challenge. Something extraordinary was about to happen, and they could feel it in the quiet night. The morning sun peeked over the small town as Liam returned to the community center. His mind was racing with ideas. He knew fixing the machine would not be easy, but he believed that with careful planning, they could succeed. Noah and Emma were already waiting, their faces showing a mix of excitement and worry. Liam gathered the two friends around the old, dusty machine. "We need a plan," he said, his voice calm but firm. We can't just fix it randomly. We have to understand every part, every wire. Noah nodded, adjusting his cap, while Emma scribbled notes in her little notebook. They began their work by carefully inspecting the machine. Every bolt, every lever, every wire was studied. Liam explained, "Some parts are worn out. We need to replace them, or nothing will work." The friends searched the community center for spare parts, finding old nuts, bolts, and wires in boxes tucked away in dusty corners. They laughed when Emma found a spring that bounced across the floor like a tiny trampoline. Hours passed, and small frustrations built up. Wires tangled, parts didn't fit, and sometimes the machine refused to move at all. Noah sighed, "Maybe Mr. Carter was right. Maybe we really can't do this." Liam shook his head. "No. We can do this. We just need patience." He looked at his friends and added, "Remember, it's not just about fixing the machine. It's about showing that courage and hard work can beat arrogance." The three friends worked late into the evening. Liam noticed how the sunlight fell through the broken windows, painting patterns on the dusty floor. It reminded him of his father, who had once taught him to see beauty and hope even in broken things. That memory gave him strength. As the night deepened, they faced their first big challenge. A large gear refused to fit in place, no matter how hard they tried. Liam's hands trembled slightly as he tried again. "We can do this," he whispered. He turned to Noah and Emma, "We must keep trying. Every mistake is just a step closer to success." Emma smiled softly, her eyes shining in the dim light. "I believe in us, Liam. We won't let the town down." Noah nodded in agreement, his earlier doubts fading. Together, they worked as a team, encouraging each other with every tiny success. After several attempts, they finally managed to fit the gear in place. The machine moved slightly when Liam turned the lever, a small but promising sign. Their faces lit up with hope and excitement. The friends hugged briefly, a silent celebration of their first real progress. As they prepared to leave for the night, Liam paused and looked at the machine. "Tomorrow, we test the rest. We'll face challenges, maybe even more failures, but I promise, we will not give up." The next morning, the town was buzzing with curiosity. Word had spread about Liam's attempt to fix the old machine. Children gathered near the community center, whispering and giggling, while adults watched from a distance, skeptical but interested. Liam, Noah, and Emma felt both excitement and nervousness as they prepared for the first big test. Liam took a deep breath and looked at his friends. "Today we try it in front of everyone. We have to stay calm and focused." Noah nodded, adjusting his tools, and Emma gave him an encouraging smile. The friends knew this was their moment to show courage and determination. They carefully positioned the machine in the center of the room. Liam checked every wire, every lever, and every gear once more. "It has to work," he whispered to himself, though doubt lingered in his mind. He had worked so hard, but one small mistake could ruin everything. With a small crowd watching, Liam turned the lever. The machine shuddered at first, then began to move, but not smoothly. A loud clang echoed through the room as a part fell off, bouncing across the floor. Gasps and murmurs ran through the audience. Mr. Carter, who had arrived secretly, smirked and chuckled quietly. "I told you," he whispered to himself. "This is hopeless." Liam felt a wave of disappointment but quickly pushed it aside. He looked at Noah and Emma, who nodded at him, their eyes full of trust. "We can fix it," he said firmly. They worked together quickly, reattaching the loose part, tightening screws, and carefully adjusting the gears. The friends tried again. This time, the machine moved more smoothly, though it still made strange noises. Children cheered softly, giving the team hope, while adults began to lean in, watching every movement. Liam could feel his heart pounding in his chest. This was more than just a machine, it was a test of their courage, patience, and teamwork. Despite the small progress, a sudden problem arose. One of the pipes leaked water, spilling across the floor. Panic flashed in the eyes of the crowd. Liam's stomach tightened, but he held his ground. "We can handle this. Stay calm," he instructed. Noah and Emma quickly plugged the leak and adjusted the water flow. Every tiny action counted, every second felt heavy with suspense. Finally, After repeated attempts, the machine started to work. A steady stream of clean water flowed out, splashing gently into the basin. The children erupted in laughter and applause. Liam's friends hugged each other, relief and joy washing over them. Even Mr. Carter, who had been watching with quiet disdain, froze in shock. His laughter had disappeared, replaced by wide-eyed astonishment. Liam smiled, but he didn't boast. He looked at the crowd and said softly, "We couldn't have done it without each other." The townspeople cheered louder, realizing the power of determination, teamwork, and courage. Even the adults who had doubted them felt a new sense of respect. As the crowd dispersed, Liam, Noah, and Emma cleaned up and packed their tools. Though they had succeeded, Liam knew the journey wasn't over. There would be bigger challenges ahead, and more tests of courage and perseverance. After their first attempt, Liam, Noah, and Emma felt a mix of pride and exhaustion. The machine had worked, but it was far from perfect. Small leaks, shaky gears, and unusual noises reminded them that their journey was not over. Liam knew that real success required patience, learning, and persistence. That evening, the three friends gathered under the dim light of the community center. Liam held a notebook filled with sketches and notes. "We need to understand this machine completely," he said. "Every part has a purpose. Every mistake teaches us something. We can't leave anything to chance." Noah nodded, his face serious. "We've learned a lot already, but there's more. I don't want to fail in front of the town again." Emma smiled gently. "Failures are just lessons. Remember, Liam, your father always said courage isn't about never falling. It's about standing up each time we fall." Liam's eyes glistened as he thought of his father. He could almost hear his voice, encouraging him to keep moving forward. They worked late into the night, disassembling parts of the machine, studying its inner workings, and trying new techniques. Every small success brought hope, while every failure tested their patience. The friends laughed together at their mistakes and cheered each tiny victory. It was hard work, but their determination never wavered. During their study, Liam discovered a broken gear that had caused most of the machine's previous problems. "This might be the key," he said. With Noah and Emma's help, they carefully replaced it, making sure every connection was secure. The machine felt more stable, but Liam knew it was only the beginning. As the night deepened, the friends took a short break. Liam sat quietly, watching the stars through the cracked windows. He remembered the first day he saw the machine and how hopeless it had seemed. Now, they were closer than ever to making it work perfectly. His heart swelled with pride and a little fear, pride for what they had accomplished, and fear of what challenges still lay ahead. The next morning, the town seemed unusually quiet. Rumors of their efforts had spread, and people were waiting, curious to see the next attempt. Liam, Noah, and Emma felt the weight of expectation on their shoulders. They knew they had to try again, not just for themselves, but for the town that had placed hope in their hands. With careful hands and steady hearts, they began the day's work. Liam guided his friends through each step, making sure every part was aligned. Every turn of the lever, every click of the gears, was precise. Slowly, the machine came to life. A faint hum filled the room, and the children watching outside pressed their faces against the windows, eyes wide with anticipation. Even Mr. Carter, who had been observing from a distance, seemed intrigued. His smirk was gone, replaced by a curious frown. Liam noticed it and felt a surge of quiet satisfaction. He knew that their hard work was changing not only the machine, but the way people saw determination and courage. By the end of the day, the friends had made significant progress. The machine was stronger, steadier, and closer to perfection. Liam looked at Noah and Emma and said, "We are ready for the final test. We know more now, and we are prepared. Nothing can stop us if we stay together." The sun rose over the small town, casting golden light on the community center. Today was the day of the final test. Liam, Noah, and Emma felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The entire town had gathered, curious to see if the friends could finally bring the old machine to life. Even Mr. Carter had arrived, leaning against a pillar, his expression unreadable. Liam took a deep breath. "This is it. Everything we've worked for comes to this moment," he said softly to his friends. Noah tightened his grip on the tools, and Emma gave a reassuring nod. Together, they positioned the machine and checked every part, ensuring it was ready for the big test. The crowd fell silent as Liam approached the lever. He looked out at the audience, children with wide eyes, adults holding their breath, and Mr. Carter, his face a mixture of curiosity and doubt. Liam's heart pounded, but he felt calm. He had prepared for this, and he knew that courage and determination could overcome fear. With a steady hand, Liam turned the lever. The machine shuddered, then began to hum, its wheels spinning smoothly for the first time in years. Water began to flow steadily into the basin, clear and pure. A wave of relief and joy swept through the friends, and the children clapped and cheered, their laughter filling the room. Mr. Carter's jaw dropped. He had expected failure, but here was Liam, a small boy with no wealth, fixing a machine that he himself had dismissed. The millionaire's laughter was gone, replaced by astonishment. He watched as Liam and his friends worked together, each movement precise and confident. Liam didn't boast or seek praise. He turned to the crowd and said softly, "We couldn't have done this without each other. Courage, teamwork, and persistence can overcome anything." The townspeople erupted in applause, their admiration for the friends growing with each word. Even the adults who had doubted them felt a new respect for what determination and heart could achieve. The children ran forward to see the flowing water, cheering and celebrating their small miracle. Noah and Emma smiled at Liam, proud of what they had accomplished together. It wasn't just about fixing a machine, it was about hope, courage, and the power of believing in oneself. Mr. Carter stepped forward, his face still showing surprise. For the first time, he acknowledged Liam with a nod of respect. The audience held its breath, waiting for his words. I was wrong," he said quietly. "You've shown more courage and skill than I expected. Well done, Liam." Liam smiled humbly. "Thank you. But we all did this together." The friends shared a quiet moment, knowing they had changed the town and themselves forever. The suspense had reached its peak, and the town had witnessed the power of determination and heart. The town was buzzing with excitement as Liam, Noah, and Emma finished their work on the machine. The water flowed steadily, and the community center was alive with laughter and joy. The friends had accomplished what everyone thought was impossible, and the town celebrated their courage and teamwork. Mr. Carter, who had watched silently from the sidelines, finally stepped forward. He cleared his throat, and the crowd quieted. "I must admit," he began, his voice carrying a mixture of surprise and respect, "I was wrong about you, Liam. You've done something remarkable. I underestimated your courage and your determination." Liam smiled humbly. "Thank you, sir. But I didn't do it alone. Noah, Emma, and all of us together made this possible." The millionaire nodded slowly. He had expected arrogance and pride from Liam, but instead, he saw humility, teamwork, and heart. For a moment, even he seemed to learn something about true strength. The town cheered, and children ran to fill their buckets with the clean water, laughing and shouting with joy. Parents hugged each other, proud of their young heroes, and the atmosphere was filled with warmth and celebration. Liam, Noah, and Emma exchanged tired but happy smiles. Their struggle, their late nights, and their determination had paid off. As the evening sun cast a golden glow over the town, Liam reflected on everything that had happened. He thought about the first day he saw the broken machine, the laughter of Mr. Carter, and the countless hours of work he and his friends had put in. Every challenge had taught him patience, courage, and the importance of working together. Noah and Emma joined him, and the three friends stood together, proud of their achievement. "We did it," Emma said softly. "Yes," Liam replied. "And we proved that courage, heart, and teamwork matter more than wealth or power. We can face anything if we stay united." The moral of the story was clear to everyone watching. True strength comes not from riches or status, but from the heart, from persistence, and from believing in oneself and others. The town had witnessed an incredible journey, and the story of Liam and his friends would inspire generations to come. As the night fell, the friends packed their tools, and the town slowly returned to its quiet rhythm. But the memory of their courage, teamwork, and determination lingered. The machine would keep providing water, and more importantly, It would serve as a reminder that even the smallest among us can do the most incredible things when they act with heart and courage.